is here with something that she loves.
I did love Mouthpiece. This is a movie from Patricia Rozema, who's one of our preeminent Canadian filmmakers.
Which is great. You want to see good Canadian films come out.
Absolutely. And she's really focusing on female stories, and this is a story that she found in the local theater circuit. And the same two women who starred in the play also star in the movie, and they wrote the characters. The lead character is a woman who is experiencing the surprising, shocking death of her mother, and it follows her through the process of planning her mother's funeral and dealing with the challenges in the history that her mother and her had. And the same character, the same lead character, is played by two different actors.
Oh.
And they're working out the challenging mind thing. So I talked to them during this year's Toronto Film Festival about the duality and the experimental nature of the movie. It's really interesting, and Patricia says some interesting things about why female characters are now finally changing on screen. So take a listen.
Are you still taking a break from relationships?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
There's something about this internal debate. It's just so emotional, so explosive, and so vulnerable.
Canadian filmmaker Patricia Rozema directs Mouthpiece, which is based on an award-winning play of the same name. In fact, the two women who wrote that play are the ones who portray the story's protagonist, Cassandra. The film follows Cassandra during a 48-hour period as she tries to organize the affairs for her mother's funeral, showing viewers the opposing voices that exist inside the modern woman's head.
This isn't about you. It's about Mom.
I know.
How to communicate duality is a you know, fun exercise. There's so many different ways to express that. Simultaneous, totally opposite, you know,
Fighting.
to try to express cognitive dissonance. This is such a juicy thing to tackle. What do you wear to your mother's funeral?
Mom would have wanted me to wear black.
Well, Mom's dead.
Her struggle is so relatable. Why do you think women do struggle with each other and the generations that came before them and the choices that we've made? There's a lot of judgment.
I think women are very, very hard on themselves. And I think that is partly because all of the women we've learned from are male creations. Almost every movie, that woman was invented and words were put into her mouth by men. And, you know, there are some very good-hearted, intelligent, empathetic men, but it's still guys telling us who to be. So I think we've always had this outside self and inside self that hasn't really jived, you know, hasn't really fit together. So I think we're just taking baby steps to understanding ourselves as a full, legitimate sort of set of beings, women.
This is such a difficult time. Grief can manifest itself in unexpected ways.
Wow.
What a great point.
Some
The
intensity
female
there.
lens being able to give you that perspective, and scripts written by and photographers doing portraits of women, for women, by women, is refreshing and different.
Yeah, it is. And Patricia, of course, you know, is so eloquent and speaks to things so interestingly. I thought that quote was really interesting. I'm glad we were able to talk about that. And those two girls that star in that movie wrote it, also starred in it as a play. Ones to watch, as you just said, Tina.
Because they look so young to put that play together.
Yeah. It's a really interesting story, and it was really emotional for me when I watched it.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you're looking for something a little, you know, a left of center for your movie taste, Mouthpiece for sure.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Steve. We'll be back with more BT right after this.